Hello friends, I am Dr. Asif from the Department of Geography, Jamia Millia Islamia. I am working here in the capacity of Assistant Professor. Dear friends, today we will discuss a module which is very important entitled Remote Sensing in Solar Reflection Region. Dear friends, first we will discuss the remote sensing and then I will tell you about the solar reflection region. We will discuss the working principle of remote sensing and working principles of solar reflection regions. So dear friends, let's have a discuss about remote sensing and solar reflection regions. Remote sensing is art and science of collection of data about different objects and phenomena without being into the direct contact of object and phenomena. We do not have the physical contact with the object and phenomena in remote sensing. So dear friends, we look different objects from a distinct place to get the information about that objects. Dear friends, you might have seen about the cameras installed in different areas. These CCTV cameras work as remote sensing device. But as far as the science of remote sensing is concerned, we are talking about the getting information on different objects on the surface of Earth with the help of a sensor placed on different platforms. These platforms may be an aircraft or a satellite. When we talk about the development of remote sensing, it was started with the placement of camera in a balloon, in a flying balloon, and after that we have installed several cameras in aircrafts and then we installed several sensors in satellites to get the information about different objects on the surface of Earth. Dear friends, first of all, I should discuss with you the basic working principles of remote sensing. In this module, figure 1 and figure 2 explain you the basic working concept of remote sensing. I will explain you with the help of a figure how remote sensing basically works. As you all know that sun is the ultimate source of the radiation which is helpful or necessary for any kind of remote sensing. So when we get the energy from the sun, it passes through the atmosphere in a manner which I will draw here, like this. Dear friends, suppose this is our sun and energy is being reflected from the sun. And you know, here we are having our atmosphere. It passed through the atmosphere. And in passing through the atmosphere, few part of energy is being reflected and diverted by different atmospheric gases. And few part of the solar radiation reached on the surface of Earth and strike with various objects. You have seen in figure 1 there are several objects like buildings, like trees. You are having these like soil, like river. You are having all these objects on the surface of Earth. After being striking on these objects, the energy is reflected back from these objects and it reaches to the sensors of the satellite. These sensors of the satellite, here we are having satellite. These sensors of the satellite which are being installed in the satellites record the energy which is being reflected by different objects. Satellite then send these data to the ground processing stations and where we process the data, and after processing the data we get the information and we use this information in different types of application, as it is clear with the help of the figure 2. In figure 2 you can easily see that we are having a ground control system over the surface of Earth and we are processing the data with the help of the computer, and after processing the data we are applying it into the different uses. Now you will be able to understand the basic working principles of remote sensing. After the working principle of remote sensing, I would like to focus on different types of remote sensing. You know, basically dear students, broadly speaking, there are only two types of remote sensing. One is called as active remote sensing and second is called as passive remote sensing. When we talk about the active remote sensing, in active remote sensing, basically the source of energy is being there in the sensors which are mounted on the satellite. It did not get the source, it did not get the energy from the sun. Basically, it gets the energy from the sensors itself which is mounted on the satellite. And this energy is being reflected on different objects by which we want to collect the data. The most important advantage of active remote sensing is that we can collect the data in all weather conditions. Even in night time we can collect the data with the help of the active remote sensing. In table 1, you will come to know about the different uses of active remote sensing. Rather, I should say, you will come to know about the significance of active remote sensing. The most significant part of active remote sensing is we can use it in all weather conditions, we can use it in night conditions, we can use it in different spectral bands, even in high spectral bands we can use the active remote sensing. And dear students, it is done with the help of the radar. Different types of radar is being used to capture different types of data in different conditions. In active remote sensing, we use the radio waves so that these waves can work in cloud conditions, in cloudy conditions, can work during the rainy season and can also work during the night. We also use the green part of the visible band. Through this green part, we can map the topographical feature on the surface of Earth. It is being used in radar. Dear students, we also use the infrared region of EMR in active remote sensing. So, different types of region are being used in active remote sensing. There are one or two disadvantages of active remote sensing also. That is being listed in table 1. You know that it is there in the table 1. Since the source of energy is being there in the sensor, so that can be easily reflected, that can be easily distorted by other source which strike simultaneously with the active remote sensing sensors. Say for example, we are using the radar during the night time to capture the information about an object. Then there is thundering and lighting is there. Since the lighting is there with the active remote sensing, then the signals of the radar will get disturbed and we will not get the desired data. It is also very expensive and it is also very costly, but it is very useful. We use this type of data to get the information about the enemy's territory, to get the information about different parts of enemy's territory. Now, let us talk about the passive remote sensing. In passive remote sensing, we use the solar energy or solar radiation. As you know about electromagnetic radiation. Electromagnetic radiation is very important as far as the passive remote sensing is concerned. The source of electromagnetic radiation is the sun. Sun is the ultimate source of electromagnetic radiation. And it consists of several waves. This electromagnetic radiation consists of several waves of different lengths. When we draw these waves on a scale, the scale is known as electromagnetic spectrum. Electromagnetic spectrum is nothing but it is the band of information about different waves which we get through the electromagnetic radiation. This band consists of several regions depending upon the wavelength and wave frequency. Dear students, I would like to explain you about the wavelength. This I have drawn the area from one crest to another crest is known as one wavelength, or from one throat to another throat it is known as one wavelength. And the wave frequency is the numbers of waves passing through a particular object in a particular time period. There is an inverse relationship in between wavelength and wave frequency. So, I was talking about the different bands of electromagnetic radiation or EMR or electromagnetic spectrum. We were talking about that. So, I will like to explain you electromagnetic spectrum with the help of the figure 3 which is being there in the module. At the left hand side you will see we are having gamma rays, X rays, ultraviolet rays, and when we are moving towards the right hand side we are having the visible band in between, and then we are having the infrared, microwave region, radar region, etc. This band is being determined on the basis of wavelength. Gamma rays having the shortest wavelength and the microwaves and radar waves are having the largest wavelength. In between we are having the visible band. Look at the table 2 in your module. Table 2 is explaining the different characteristics of different bands of electromagnetic spectrum. These characteristics are based on the use of these bands in remote sensing. In table 2 we are having number 1 gamma rays and X rays. These rays are having very low wavelength and they are absorbed somewhere in the atmosphere and are not available for the remote sensing. After that we are having ultraviolet rays. A big portion of ultraviolet rays is also lost in the atmosphere and not available for the remote sensing, but a few part of the ultraviolet rays is available for the remote sensing. After the ultraviolet rays we are having the visible band. Visible band is the most important band as far as the remote sensing is concerned, or particularly I can say as far as the solar radiation remote sensing is concerned, because this visible band is the only band which human eye can see easily. This visible band is consist of different colors. These colors are, if we will arrange them in descending order, violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange and red. These colors are having different wavelengths. Say the visible band starts with 400 nanometer and it ends up at 700 nanometer. So, visible band, after visible band we are having infrared. Infrared also can be subdivided into near infrared, middle infrared and far infrared. Infrared band is also useful for the remote sensing, and we can identify the change detection, vegetation cover change in different parts with the help of the infrared band. After that we are having the microwave band. In microwave band, active and passive both remote sensing can be done, but it is very useful for the active remote sensing, and we can identify the change in different parameters in different objects with the help of the microwave band. After that we are having radio waves and radar waves. These are having the longest wavelength. These radio waves and radar waves are having the longest wavelength, and they can use for radio signals, for TV signals and also for different other purposes. Active remote sensing can also be done with the help of radio waves. And now I would like to talk about the remote sensing data acquisition in solar radiation region and its application. I told you about the solar radiation. Again, I would like to explain it in a sense that solar radiation region basically comprises of the visible band and infrared band. These are the two important bands which covers in solar reflection region. So, we will talk about the data acquisition in solar spectral region and also talk about their application. You know friends, we are having several scanners. or sensors which mounted on different satellite platforms. I will discuss about these sensors. What are these sensors? What kind of sensor is being mounted in what kind of satellite? And what kind of data we are acquiring with the help of these sensors? And what are the applications of the data collected with the help of these sensors? First of all, I would like to talk about the multispectral scanner or MSS. This scanner is used in Landsat series launched by United States of America. This scanner works in a band between 0.5 to 1.1 micrometer. This spectral having a medium resolution and with changing the Landsat 1, Landsat 2, Landsat 3, Landsat 4, the resolution of this MSS increases with changing the Landsat. Say for example, Landsat 1 is having coarse resolution, Landsat 2 is having better resolution, and so on, so on. The Landsat data is used in various applications. Particularly, it is used in distinguishing between the vegetation cover. With the help of the MSS data, we can distinguish between the evergreen forest, deciduous forest, or coniferous forest. It is also helpful in detecting the objects beneath the water surface. Dear students, figure 4 in your module showing the Amazon catchment region. The image is taken in 1975 with the help of Landsat satellite. The sensor used was MSS. With the help of this imagery, we are able to identify the change direction, how vegetation cover is declining in the Amazon catchment area. You can look at the image and can find out how deforestation has been taken place in the vast area of Amazon catchment area. Dear students, after multispectral scanner, I would like to discuss with you thematic mapper. This thematic mapper is also used in Landsat series 4 and 5. This thematic mapper has a better resolution than the multispectral scanner. What do I mean by the resolution? Dear students, you need to understand what is resolution. When I say the resolution of a sensor is 62 meter, it means the area in 60 meter, the objects in area in 60 meter can be identified with the help of the imagery taken with the help of the sensor. But when I say the resolution is 23 meter, then we are able to get the minute detail in comparison to the previous one. When I say the resolution is 1 meter, then again we are getting very fine details about objective on the surface of Earth. So when I say the resolution is 1 meter, we are having better image, we are having better data. Comparatively, when I say the resolution is 20 meter or 30 meter and so on. So I was talking about the thematic mapper and I was saying that it has a better resolution than the multispectral scanner. The quality of data acquired with the help of the thematic mapper in Landsat 4 and 5 is better comparatively to the previous one. It has a resolving time of around 16 days. Dear friends, the data which we get through the thematic scanner can be used in geological studies and in climatic studies. The figure 5 in your module shows the glacier of a particular region, how the changes has been taken place in glacier, how it is melting. With the help of the image, we are able to identify this. This image is taken by the Landsat in thematic mapper. The next important scanner or sensor in the series is high resolution visible image, which we use in Spot satellite launched by the France. This is one of the fine resolution sensor, and it works both in multispectral and panchromatic band. Multispectral means several color bands and panchromatic means black and white bands. It has a resolution of 20 meters in multispectral band and a resolution of 10 meter in panchromatic band. It works in 3 visible band and 1 infrared band. We can say near infrared band. So it also works in 4 bands, and we can get very good quality of data with the help of this scanner. SPOT is one of the most developed satellite launched by France at that time. Moreover, with the help of the data collected through this scanner, we can use it in urban studies. We can identify the changes in urban areas with the help of the data collected with these scanners. Look at figure number 6. That is an image of a urban area and a river is passing through that urban area. This image is being taken by the SPOT satellite of the France, and with the help of this image, we can easily identify the objects in the image. The next in the category is linear image self-scanning sensor. This sensor is used by India in IRS series 1, 2 and 3. LIS 1, 2, 3 and is being used by India in IRS satellites. You know, the LIS 1 is having a resolution of around 72.5 meter, LIS 2 is having a resolution of around 36.25 meter and LIS 3 is having a resolution of about 23.5 meter. So with the passage of time, the scanner gets modified and the resolution improves a lot. In this module, at figure number 7, you are having 2 images taken with the help of IRS or with the help of the LIS scanner. These images are of Kutch region of India. The first image is taken in 2005 and the second image is taken in 2011. With the help of the data collected through the LIS 3, we can easily compare both the images and can identify the change in land use pattern. We can identify the change direction happening in the Kutch region during the last few years. With the help of this data, we are able to make our policies accordingly where the changes are taking place, where the area is shrinking, where the area is increasing, and how we should maintain our natural resources. So we can compare both the resource which we get through the LIS 3 of Kutch region, and after comparing the image, we are able to make our policies of development, rather I should say sustainable development accordingly. So dear students, next in the series is QuickBird. QuickBird is a satellite launched by the United States of America in 2001. The scanner which is used in QuickBird satellite is also named QuickBird. QuickBird is one of the finest resolution satellite till date. You will be surprised to know that the resolution of QuickBird is 0.61 meter. This is one of the finest resolution. We can get the information about the minor object on the surface of Earth. QuickBird work in 4 bands, 3 in visible band and 1 is infrared band. The data which we get through the QuickBird is very authentic and very important as far as the planning of different regions or different aspect is concerned. Because the resolution is very important. The resolution of QuickBird is very high. You will get the minor information about the surface of Earth. The area which you are observing with the help of the QuickBird data can be observed very minutely. Look at your module, dear students, you are having figure 10. That is the imagery of Zunich. You can look at the image and can find out the minor details in the image of Zunich, and you can look at the image and can find out the minor objects. So this is the resolution of the QuickBird data. The QuickBird data is used in cropping, in different agricultural operations like change in cropping pattern. It can identify the diseases in different crops. It can also identify the minor topographic changes with the help of which we can do contour boundings. The QuickBird data, dear students, is one of the most refined data available to us, and that can be used in various planning purposes. QuickBird data can also be used in natural environmental management. It can be used in different natural hazards conditions, like we are having the flood conditions, we are having the drought conditions. The QuickBird data can also use in such kind of conditions. Apart from QuickBird and the other sensors which we have discussed, we are having several other sensors. But in this module, I can describe these sensors in writing, but cannot explain you here all the sensors because of the curiosity of time. You can go through the module to find out the minor details available about different sensors in this particular module. Students, I would like to discuss with you the three sensors which we used in marine observation satellite launched by the Japan, Space Department of Japan, to get the information about the environmental condition, about the sea surface, about different meteorological phenomena. Japan launched this marine observation satellite. The sensor used in this marine observation satellite are multispectral self-scanning radiometer, number 1, number 2 visible and thermal infrared radiometer, and number 3 is microwave scanning radiometer. These three sensors have been used in these Japanese satellites to get the information about the weather, about the minor phenomena of the weather, about the minor phenomena of the climate, and about information about different oceanic phenomena. It can, with the help of the data collected collected with the help of these sensors, we can identify the humidity condition, we can observe the rainfall condition, we can also observe the drought and flood condition with the help of the data collected by this satellite. In the last, we are having moderate resolution imaging spectroradiometer. This scanner was used by NASA in their satellite to get the information about the ocean, about the earth, and about the atmosphere. We can collect the information about these three different spheres with the help of the data collected through this scanner. So, dear friends, in the last, I would like to conclude with that we have gone through the definition of remote sensing. You people, I do hope that now able to define what is remote sensing. What are the different principles of operating of remote sensing? You can easily tell about these after going through this module. I have discussed with you the different bands of electromagnetic spectrum in this module, and I talk about the characteristics of these different bands, and we have discussed about what is solar reflection region. As you know that solar reflection region cover a band of the visible band, cover a region of visible band and also infrared band. So, the remote sensing done in these two bands comes under the solar reflectance region. Now, then we have discussed different sensors mounted on different satellites. Dear students, if we are able to analyze the data which we have got through the different satellites, through the different sensors, then we are able to make our policies, to formulate our policies on the basis of the remote sensing data. So, therefore, in the last, I would like to conclude with you people that the remote sensing is an important technique as far as the solving of the problem related to the human being is concerned. If we will use this technique with precision, then we will be able to come out with several solutions of the problems which we are facing in the 21st century. Dear students, I do hope that after going through this presentation of the module, you will be able to understand the remote sensing and solar radiation remote sensing in a better manner. I do hope that after going through this model, you will be able to understand it completely. Thank you for your patient listening, dear student. Thank you very much.